What you just saw was me exploring a small river on my way to my main destination, which is here. You're in the waterproof case, so you didn't really get much audio. Beautiful little river. It's a little tributary to a slightly bigger river. I don't think there's steelhead in it yet, but I definitely want to go back later in the season, give it a shot, in February-ish, something like that. But now I'm at my main destination. There's no one here. I fished this spot once, a long time ago, for trout. This is before I knew anything about steelhead or salmon or any of that. See, these signs confuse me. It says no trespassing, but then it says day use only. No camping. So it's like, can I go through since it's day use? I mean, I came here once and there's like 10 cars. That sign was here then. I'll plead confusion. Sorry, Mom and Dad. This is gonna be new for me too, because I'm fishing really high water. Yeah, I think this is all pretty recent, like from that ice storm last year. Because I don't remember this being difficult to get through. Yep, this is the spot. That's where I'm gonna be. See what we can do. All right, I was floating this jig at the last river for a little while. I think I might start at this spot, start out with it, just since it's already tied on. I do need to change my depth. And I had coon shrimp that I was using. I was tipping it with coon shrimp, and I just a few minutes ago realized that I accidentally left those at the last spot. So the problem here is there's no visibility. So I don't want to step in a hole. After fishing the first river for about 2 hours, I decided to hit a more popular spot that I knew people had been catching fish at. Though I didn't catch anything and the river was actually pretty high, I definitely learned a lot by watching other fishermen, seeing what rigs they were throwing and how they fished them. Overall, that day was definitely a big help in my steelhead fishing knowledge. One thing I've learned is that you don't have to catch a fish for it to be a successful trip. The next day, I ended up picking up a new float rod and reel setup, because the other rod I have was only 8.6 and wouldn't really cut it for float fishing. I picked up that setup and I also got a little more tackle. So I'm going to show you guys what I picked up and what I rigged up for the next trip. Alright guys, it is a week later. It is actually after Christmas now, and what you just watched was me exploring a few nearby creeks and rivers that were a lot closer to home than where I was fishing before. And I definitely learned a lot. While I didn't catch any fish, I didn't really see much action. Towards the end of the day, I did fish at a spot with a lot of other people and got to see how they were fishing different rigs and where they were fishing them, and just learning techniques. I definitely feel like that's gonna help me in the future. But for now, I actually picked up a bunch of Steelhead stuff tonight to just kind of cap off my arsenal for the winter of 2021. I think this is all I'm going to need for the rest of the year. I'm hoping. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be something else, but hoping this is enough. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown, and then I'm going to be rigging up for my next trip. I've actually been exploring some new spots in Google Maps and have a creek that I really want to hit. So I'm going to do that within the week. That video will be posted shortly, so stay tuned for that. But for now, quick rundown of my arsenal. First off, I got a float rod. I ended up going with the Okuma SST casting rod, 10 to 20 pound line, 3/8 to 1.5 ounce lure rating. 10.6, so it's going to be a lot longer than the 8.6 that I was fishing, and this one is a caster. I also picked up a Daiwa Tatsula reel for it. I believe it's got a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio, along with a 13.2 pound max drag, which isn't a lot, but it's all I'm really going to need for Steelhead. And I've got some 30 pound Power Pro. Again, I wanted high vis, but I couldn't find any, so I had to go with the moss green color for now. Eventually I do want to run a high vis on there just so it'll be easier to see in the water, and that is very important with bobber fishing. Aside from the rod and reel, I also picked up a few more weights. Now I've been having trouble finding hollow pencil lead for drift fishing, so I just got pretty much every different size of these inline bobber weights. I'm going to give those a try and see how they work. So we've got all the way down to 1/4 right there, and all the way up to 1 ounce, just because I don't know what the water I'm fishing is going to be like and what I'm going to need. And then we got everything in between. We got 1/4, we got 3/8, 3/4. So we should be set weight-wise. Haven't gotten any more bobbers or anything like that, just because I already have plenty. I did pick up some more beads, a few different sizes and colors. I'm trying to get a bunch of different colors and sizes, just so I can try a little bit of everything, and if one thing isn't working on a certain day, something else hopefully will be. So those are the 5 colors and sizes that I currently have. If you guys have any recommendations on beads that you use and what color beads to use and what types of water, please leave a comment down below. I would love to learn. So this is the bead/weight box so far. It's steadily growing. The arsenal is steadily growing. I mean, before I only had, I think, those 2 beads, and then I picked up these 3 tonight. Only had 2 different types of weights. Now I've got like 5 different weights. Already had the bobber stops. But I'm feeling confident that I have enough tackle to get started. And then nothing really new in this box. This is just lures and artificial baits. So a couple different addicted jigs. I think all of these are addicted actually. A few different colors. We got some lighter patterns there, and then something a little darker as well. So now the last part of this video, I'm going to be rigging up for the next trip. So because the spot I'm going to be fishing is a smaller creek with clear water, I'm going to be fishing slightly lighter line. So I have 30 pound braid as my main line, and then I'm going to be using 10 pound Maxima as a leader line. You guys know this knot, I showed it to you last video. So this is just the double uni knot connecting my 2 lines. So I'm going to fast forward through this real quick and then show you the completed knot. Clip those tag ends, make sure you don't clip your main line, otherwise you're going to be restarting the knot. Okay, so there is our completed knot. The leader line is connected to Power Pro at this point. So you just slide that bobber stop onto your line, and then I'm going to slide it up a little bit. Before you slide that weight on, it's good to put a bead on the line first. Stop the bobber from going over the bobber stop. It can be a little bead that comes with bobber stops, or it can be an actual bead that you fish with, like I just used. Next, you're going to be tying on your inline bobber weight. I'm going to be using a 1/4 ounce inline bobber weight here. Just tie that on with your preferred knot, whatever works for you. My knot is called What My Dad Taught Me When I Was 8, and I've used ever since. Okay, from there I'm going to tie my 10-pound Maxima that I'm using as a leader line, tie that to the other side of that weight. Again, just whatever knot you use. There's the jig. That's going to go on to the end of my leader line. Now my plan is to put a little piece of coon shrimp on that hook to add a little scent and presentation to it while I'm floating it. Really, I don't know if I would say confident, but I would say optimistic about this next trip, just because I feel like I've learned a lot since then, and I'm going to apply that. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if you like seeing these salmon steelhead videos. I'm planning on making winter steelhead a whole series this year until I catch one. So let me know if you want to see more videos like this, or if you just want to see the fishing side of it. Because personally, I actually like making these tackle videos and showing you guys, what I'm fishing with and what I have behind the scenes. For now, that is going to do it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.